The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program, and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Hey, good day.
Good afternoon.
We got another show today, right? Another Wednesday, another show.
Another show, yes. Welcome back for another show of Table Topics. Today, I have a couple of topics that I would like to talk to you. One coming from Portugal, and I have some rollovers that I would like to talk to you about. I'm pretty sure you have a couple of topics that you want to bring on too. So
I'm open.
Very good. You're very liberal, conservative, but liberal.
No, I'm just I'm trying to, you know what I mean? Whatever.
You don't even know what you want no more, right?
No. I'm trying to be an American, and that's what people are fighting for in this country. That this is America, not China or Russia. America.
Yeah. China and Russia was always there.
Well, I hear you, but it's more so now. So I could get into a topic on China, but you tell me.
Well, I have a couple of pictures to show you, and we will start with that.
Okay.
First picture.
Yes.
During our visits to Ponte Delgado,
yeah, I remember.
You remember that?
Yeah.
I know you do.
Yeah.
So we were received by the mayor of Ponte Delgado and right there at City Hall in Ponte Delgado. This was during that visit that I did before I bought the group. Before I bought the group there, I went and I met with the mayor to request him the bus, the transportation that we had when we were the group there. And in this picture was doing that request that visit that I did the request for to bring the group there. And what I'm giving him there is a book, The History of the Fires in Fall River, written by my friend Corey, Stephanie Corey. And I went to her house. She signed the book to give it to him.
Oh, cool.
So this gentleman that you see right there is today the president of Azores.
Oh, wow.
He got elected president of the Azores.
Oh, wow.
And here, this one was on a meeting, and you probably recognize him, José Andrade. He's the chief of staff. He was sitting right on the front row. And that's the gentleman that I talked about when I speak to the mayor in front of the group, that I said that I know him from school and we were partners. We had a magazine when we were teenagers. So this gentleman right there now, he's no longer chief of staff.
Yep.
He is now the secretary of communities. So he's now working with the president.
Oh, cool.
And I am gonna be inviting him, both of them, to be guests on our Amigos show.
Wow.
Because I think it's important for us to have like information from there, not from the news, but direct from them.
Excellent.
And it's important for them to be in contact with our city too, and so they would be hearing right from us. So that's good news, people, that it's that you know very well.
Wow, you're a bigwig now. You know the president. So Carlos, let me ask you this then.
Yes.
do they still have to abide by the rules of Portugal, or is it just they can kind of rule in a certain way, but they still are overseen by?
Well, yes, everything it's overseen by Portugal, but it's like a state. They have different rules that they have in Lisbon, because some rules that don't even make sense in the island. So they have their own rules, but they have the parliament is in Portugal.
Yeah.
So when things are just like when in here, when the senators get together, or when the governors get together, they have the space there too. That's the Azores Parliament. So I had all the secretaries and everything when they meet in Lisbon. But I was very happy. José Andrade, he was a go-getter. He was always involved in stuff. He played music. He had the bands, and he was very, very well known by everybody, and very loved by everybody.
Yeah.
And the question is, and that's a question I'm going to ask him next time that I talk to him, how long is going to take for him to run for president?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because he had this is not the first time that he handles a secretary seat. He had done on the past different. He's been sitting in different places before, but I think I'm not 100% sure, but I probably have a little clue why not. I think he's not old enough.
Oh, okay. Oh, really? How old do you got to be president?
I don't know. I mean, I don't recall the exactly age.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I was talking to my father this week, and I asked him, and he said, something, Carlos, I'm not sure. So it's a question that I need to find out. But I think that the Azores is a social democrat now. He's a social democrat. Came from the hands of a socialist.
Yeah.
To the social democrat. So things are changing a little bit there too.
Yeah, well, it doesn't mean the same thing that it means that they're throwing out here. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, I don't think you can you can identify a socialist the way we identify a socialist here.
Yeah. It's I think it's probably not even the right term, to be honest with you, to use.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't think that's the right term, but
Yeah.
I hear you. I know is that the former president is a bigwig in the UN from Portugal. I was reading the other day. So that's kind of interesting. He was a very well-loved president, they said, from what I read in an article somewhere. So
are you talking about the
Secretary General? Is that who it is? I believe.
You're talking about the president of Portugal.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
He's a bigwig in the UN right now.
Yes. I mean, he's very he's the people like him because he's not a big shot.
Yeah. Okay.
He's not a big shot. Matter of fact, I showed you when the coronavirus just started to come there. I show a picture. If we go back on those shows, I showed you a picture of him waiting in line to pay for the groceries, with shorts on. With shorts on, and he's very into the people. He likes to he says he don't sleep much. He sleeps 3-4 hours a day.
Wow.
And he's very active. He's very, very active. He likes to be between people. He's not that bigger shot like we call it here. But
I hear you.
So that's the good news that I have from Porto Delgado.
That's excellent.
A good thing is I will on our next visit I will include visits to the White House. There, it's not a White House. There, it's a pink house.
A pink house. Oh, wow.
It's a pink house.
Oh,
so it's a very nice place. I used to decorate when I worked for this flower shop in Portugal. When I was in school, I had a part-time on this flower house that used to do weddings and stuff like that.
cool.
And we used to go there to decorate the place. A lot of times we used to go there and to decorate the place. So I'm familiar with the place, and I will include the visit on our next, because now he's no longer the president. He's no longer the mayor. Now he's the president. So we can go places that we didn't win last time.
Sounds good.
It's so much to see there that I'm pretty sure I can put more things that we never went before. You know.
Hopefully that'll be good. Hopefully we'll be back to normal. You know.
I hope so. I cannot wait to next year to book everything. Like I said, starting in August, I probably gonna start booking trips starting in August, because the first half of the year, I think is gonna be just to clean up. You know, just to cut corners, clean up. But I'm pretty sure starting the way they talking about the community is going to start getting vaccines March, April. That's when the vaccine is going to be available to everybody.
Where, in Portugal or here?
Here, and I mean, it's going to be around the world anyway. I think that this first month, January, February, March, is going to be like the governor just announced it today. It's going to be the firefighters, the EMTs, the nurses, the doctors, people in nursing rooms. So that's the phase one. Then I think by March, April, it's going to be open to everybody else that wants to do.
Well, there was something on the national news yesterday that they're going to have a passport where if you haven't been vaccinated, it will be on your phone. You won't be able to get into certain venues. You know, they were talking about that on the national NBC News yesterday, which I found kind of interesting. You know, so. Well,
and how that will work if you out of the country?
Yeah. No. Well, I mean, yeah. I don't know what the other countries will do. Maybe will the U.S. let you back in? You know what I mean? Or would they let you leave? You know? So it's going to be interesting to see, I'm sure.
It's a lot of questions that has no answers yet. Yeah. And I was just talking to Linda about something that it's not too many answers out there for people that survived the virus.
Yeah.
Everybody talks about people getting infected.
Yeah.
People getting infected. Yeah. But how about people that survive the virus? Now, how long they're going to be positive?
Yeah.
How long they're going to be contagious? How fast they can get sick again? How fast they can get the virus back again? You know, this is all answers that nobody, they're not on the same step. One says one thing, another one says another thing. So it's like now, Saturday, I'm going to Providence because I'm going to donate plasma.
Oh, cool.
So me, my wife, my daughter, and her friend, we all got affected at the same time.
Yeah.
So what we have very good on our system now is antibodies.
Yeah.
And we can save lives by donating those antibodies, because those are always
I know. It's going to help with people that don't have it. It's like a therapy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But we right now we are getting more and more and more because we survive the virus. So the system is prepared now. It's like sending soldiers to war. The war it's done, but they keep recruiting more soldiers. So that's how our system is working now, especially that we are out of those 14 days virus quarantine days. So now we produce them, and some of them die for new ones to grow. So and this now it's the perfect time if we want to donate them to people that don't have them. So what's going to happen now is we're going to go Saturday to Providence. They're going to draw blood from us, and they're going to take the antibodies, the plasma, out of the blood, and they're gonna go to a hospital, to a 90-year-old that the body it's too weak to generate the antibodies, and they're going to inject them the antibodies that we donate, and that's gonna boost for their body to start getting the antibodies, so that they're going to start growing antibodies from those that we donate.
Good.
So here's things that people don't know. People don't have information about this. You are healthy. You got the virus. You got a fever. You got a cough, and 15 days after you're fine. You're total fine. You recuperate. But guess what? We need that plasma from you.
Yeah.
You can save lives with that. And that information, it's not out there. You know?
It actually, Carlos, it was out there back in, I think, April or May, or maybe even June, that the president had one of those press conferences and they brought that up. And it was something that was great. And then within 3 days, the media was tearing it up, saying this is not a game changer. It's not going to help. You know what I mean? So some of the things that have happened that they had discovered, you know what I mean? The media just tears it all up, and it doesn't make it help. But I knew about that like a while, they talked about that back probably May or June, that they found that people that had it, if they took the antibodies from them, it helped the new people. So, I mean, I commend you for doing it. I think that's a great thing.
Because just think this way, we are for 10 months waiting for a vaccine. Okay. Out of 10 really bad shape people, really sick people, you have 100 that survive.
Yeah.
Okay. So can you imagine, of those 50 out of those 100 donate their plasma?
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have to have so many deaths. Sure, somebody's going to die, especially if they too long gone,
Yeah.
But if this person is on a ventilator just because he cannot breathe, okay, this person can survive in 2 days. 2 days could be out of the hospital.
Yeah.
If they get that antibodies, So that's why I'm saying this is something probably that's going to cure people, just like a vaccine, because the vaccine is not going to cure you. The vaccine is going to protect you from getting the virus.
Yeah.
Plasma is going to cure you.
Yeah.
One day you could be in bed dying, and the next day you could be walking because you got that transplant, you got that antibodies on your body to fight the virus, So that's something that makes no sense for us now to be talking about this 10 months after, and the vaccine out there. Okay, the vaccine is not for the people that are already sick. The vaccine is for the people that are not sick, not to get sick.
Yeah.
When we have the solution to save 90% of the people that are dying.
Yeah. Well, like I said, this was brought up back in June, and the media said this is not a game changer. the people on that task force, along with the president, was saying could be a game changer if we could do this. And I believe they were still doing it. But I mean, you're not going to hear.
We never hear. We're never hearing anything about people donating plasma.
Well, well, of course you're not going to hear that. You know what I mean? They're not going to bring it up. You know what I mean? And I'll give you another story. Let's get off this subject for a quick minute. But I commend you and the family for doing that. That's really good. Because if I had it, I've kind of wanted to get tested myself just to see if I had the antibodies. I would do that as well, you know. But just to give you an example, there was a person that ran for president during this last election, Eric Swalwell from California. Remember hearing that name, Eric Swalwell from California? Well, apparently, China has people that come over, spies that come over, and they look for like people that are starting out in politics, like mayors, city councilors. Well, Eric Swalwell met this Chinese lady that was actually a spy. She worked with him for about 6 years, and here we always were hearing Russia, right? There were two mayors out in the Midwest that actually had affairs with this lady. So we kept on hearing again, Russia's the biggest problem, Russia. Why didn't we hear this about this Eric Swalwell that was basically with this spy? He said he didn't know, but the FBI contacted him and said, hey, we think that you're involved with a spy. Why is there some treatment for some and then other people don't get the same treatment? Interesting, huh? And if you listen, CNN doesn't want to cover that today. CNN will not cover that. I've watched CNN a couple times today. MSNBC, they're never going to cover that. It's on the regular.
I heard that today. CJ.
Yeah.
On this station.
Oh, okay.
This is the station that are bringing all the news now. You know.
I'm telling you. But isn't it
on this station? I heard that it's not a rumor, Brett.
Yeah,
you know that news.
No, it's actually out there, and Eric Swalwell made a statement today to the effect that happened 5 years ago, and he hasn't talked to that person in the last 5 or 6 years now. But this is the same person when he was running against the president saying he's a Russian agent, he's this, that, and the other thing. Well, you know, you were involved with a spy from China. So, you know, the hypocrisy is absolutely insane, right, that's going on right now. Same thing with the senator from California, Dianne Feinstein, had a Russian spy working on her staff for about 20 years as her driver. And you heard very little about that, you know? Yeah. So, I mean, number one, you keep on hearing Russia. China, did you happen to see, actually, this was interesting the other day, China, a chief economist out there had a video, like, you know, they do those TED Talks, so he's in front of an audience out in China. And he said that, you know, we in China were doing so well from like 1992 up until 2016 because we have friends in high places in the United States. And now we don't have that because of President Trump that's there. He doesn't want to cooperate with us. But we have friends in high places that will do things for us there. Isn't that the same thing that they were accusing our current president with Russia? But China's doing that? Because, you know, there were years, Carlos, I would think, back even in the 90s, I'm like, why in the heck are these folks doing this? Like sending our jobs over there, you know, thousands and thousands of jobs, putting people in this country in despair. Why was that happening? Now we kind of know why it was happening. This Chinese official said it right out there. And the interesting thing is you can't find that video anymore. They took it offline. So, you know, we think that Russia's the biggest problem here. I would think China is. Well,
China always been the problem. You know, I mean, China, it's.
Well, they don't
remember which president was that signed all the factories was Clinton. I think it was Clinton. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how back we can go with China, you know, trying to interfere on the economy.
Yeah.
Or stealing the economy. But guess what? You go everywhere. You know, I mean, in one way, it's our fault because we buy stuff. We want to buy cheap.
Yeah, but
So
Carlos,
comes from China.
You can't buy anything now unless it's from China. Pretty much everything's made in China. So I just look at it this way. For 4 years, we were fed this whole Russian crazy conspiracy theory. And all along, there are politicians that are out there that were dealing with China. And you hear very little about it. It's really disgusting. It's got to the point where it's really disgusting. And the new president-elect that's supposed to come in wants to talk to China more, to kind of collaborate with them on this whole virus. Number one, they created the virus. Then number two, they went around the world and took all the stockpiles of these things like masks and all these things. And then when they did send it to us, they were defective. Not only us, to Canada and all these other countries. And we want to confer with them on how to straighten this out. Is there something I'm missing here?
Well, the truth is, 4 years ago, the world was going to end. And
oh yeah, remember hearing that? Do you remember hearing that? 4 years ago,
the world was going to end, then end.
Yep.
Now, next year, the world's going to end again. And guess what? We will survive.
Well, but it is interesting. Remember? And didn't we hear "Not My President" resist? Didn't we hear all those things?
Yeah.
You know. And now we hear, no, this is how it is. You know, no matter what happened, any improprieties during the election, this is how it is. You know,
they got the cue from somebody. It is what it is. John,
hey, we have, since you have the new president here, you got to have them work on you know, rights to go there from prior. We're not called expats here, but we're called family. So they feel, it would be great if they could accept everybody that has some kind of lineage back there. That would be great. Back to great-grand. You need to talk to them. Back to great-grandchildren.
We're gonna have to talk to him about that. We have 2 minutes, and in this 2 minutes, I just want to put this in here. Sure. That I think that's the problem. Before, years ago, you never hear about rollovers. Now you have rollovers every day. To me, the cows is the phone. That's it.
What was that?
The cows of all these rollovers are the cell phones.
Oh.
People are not paying attention what they're doing, driving, and they are texting, they are talking, they dropping the phone, they are looking for the phone on the floor, you know, and then when they end up, they upside down.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Now the question is, we have a law that people cannot use the phone.
Yeah.
What are the authorities are doing about? I would like to know how many tickets for River Road people using the phones.
Well, maybe it's something to bring up at a city council meeting, but I hear you.
Gonna have to, because
I don't see rollovers, but I can tell you this. I know whenever anybody's at a light and they don't move like within like 30 seconds, you know they're on that bloody phone.
They're on the phone.
You know?
Yesterday I had 3 people, okay, inviting Mylene. Yeah. And believe me, I'm driving a bus. I can see from the top. Yeah. I can see from the top. And the worst thing for me is they try to fight me.
Yeah.
They try to give me the hands and the fingers. Yeah. Dude, I have cameras all over this bus. You wanna fight with me? You want me to prove what you're doing? But that's the end of the show today. We have to pick up this issue the next because I think it's a lot that we need to talk about this issue of texting and driving. So see you next week, John. Thank you again.
No problem. Sounds good. Have a good night.